welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand all the latest cues from the D Street, starting from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing the most in trade. We'll also focus specifically on Chandrayaan 3, India's most anticipated mission that is likely to reach culmination at 6:04 p.m. when we are anticipating for the soft landing of the Vikram lander on the moon surface. So, of course, that being the talk of the town, we are going to be focusing on a whole host of stocks that have some or the other link with Chandrayaan 3, especially defense sector, and within that, some of the stocks that have really participated there, all of them are soaring, along and taking off along with Chandrayaan 3. But do you have them in your portfolio is something that we will focus on all through this special edition, and we will get you expert views on specific stocks as well to find out where exactly our opportunity is emerging for you. So, of course, we'll watch out for Chandrayaan 3 through the trading session and, of course, beyond it on BTTV. But right now, the Sensex also back up in the green, 132 points higher at 65,352. The Nifty up by 42 odd points at 19,436, and we're looking at a broad range of markets also in the green. Look at the small caps, they are hovering higher, 11,959, very close to the all-time high levels. The mid caps have again hit fresh record high levels in today's trading session. Metals, PSU banks, these are the pockets that are shining the brightest. We also have the private banks, consumer durables, the realty space stocks that are all buzzing in trade as of now. On the top gainers today, let's look at the stocks that are moving quite sharply as far as the Nifty is concerned. Well, you do have Apollo Hospitals, Asian Paints, these kind of stocks that are moving up the markets. Axis Bank, Hindalco, Divis Laboratories, L&T, also a stock that we will discuss when we discuss Chandrayaan 3 as a theme today. Tata Steel, all of these stocks are up in the green. On the downside, however, profit booking being seen on the Adani Group stocks. So you can see Adani Enterprises down by over 1% in today's trading action. Sun Pharma, ITC also down at 1% odd at 450 odd levels. You have Bajaj Twins, Bajaj Finserv Finance down in trade, BPCL that's trading down as well. And you also have Britannia that's slightly sluggish in trade. Let's welcome our guest on the show. Mr. Kranti Batini joins in, Director Research at Wealth Mill Securities. Welcome, Mr. Batini, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Well, all eyes are on the moon and how India is definitely looking at an all-time high level as well as a nation by achieving this mission that has been much awaited by all, billion plus Indians right here. But, for the market specifically, what is your outlook and what do you believe, investors should do in the current stage?
Yes, actually, completely. It's a pride moment for each Indian because of what we are going to witness today evening. It's going to be a pride moment and every Indian. But coming to the market, markets are still in a consolidation phase right now. Yesterday, the market has been swimming in between red and green, but it's forming the base around 19,400, the crucial support it's making. And the more action is in mid and small cap stocks, and more about this market is about more on the stock specific action. We can see a lot of action is happening in all the sectors. The leadership is rotating on a consecutive trading day basis. So currently, markets are forming a good base at this point of time, and we need to see how the other actions from the Federal Reserve, the commentaries, this is all market has been in a wait and watch mode right now to take next leg up to towards inching on a higher note. That's what we can envisage on the market at this point of time, Sakshi.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out on the way the markets move forward from here. But the defense theme is what we are going to be focused on, especially the stocks that are linked to Chandrayaan 3. We do know that defense as a theme has found many takers and has suddenly shown a lot of promise to all the investors who are now believing that this could perhaps be an investment theme for multiple years to come as well, for all those investors who are looking for a very long-term view. We're looking at MTR Technologies that's up in trade, data patterns that's shot up yesterday very sharply, Paras Defense as a stock is up by 4.5% today. L&T, BHEL, you also have PTC Industries and a whole host of other stocks that have been moving up in trade amid Chandrayaan 3's mission. So we are going to be first understanding from you what is your own sense about the defense as a theme, defense as a sector, and for any investors who's looking to build a portfolio of defense stocks, how does one look at this theme for the long term?
Yes, actually, definitely. Defense is emerging as a new sector at this point of time. And given the kind of order book visibility, and also it's more about right now, it is focusing on the domestic capabilities. The movement taken by the central government with respect to Atmanirbhar Bharat and making India self-sufficient in terms of the defense manufacturing also have given a lot of emphasis with respect to the Indian defense makers are concerned. So there are whole host of defense industry related companies, both private as well as the public sector PSUs are concerned, and they have the capabilities and they have been developing their technologies, and uh, and they are inching towards uh, building their capabilities at par with the global defense makers. And the government has been emphasizing and encouraging the domestic defense producers at this point of time. That's where we can see the whole host of stocks moving up and inching higher, and their order books are uh, uh, increasing, and there is a clear cut earnings visibility with respect to the defense stocks are concerned, both the PSUs and also in the private sector. So any investor want to build a portfolio with respect to defense focus, he should have a long-term outlook, and also he need to have a blend both from public sector undertakings as well as from the private corporations are concerned. Both can give good returns in the coming years with respect to defense as a sector. And one thing we need to keep in mind, most of these defense stocks are underowned both by institutions as well as by retail investors. So there can be a re-rating in these stocks are concerned. And one thing we need to focus, Sakshi, any defense theme, it can be aviation, it can be with respect to the defense is concerned. Every theme, every product have a long durability. It can be 10 to 15 years. That is the durability. So that means the earnings can be sustainable or a long-term perspective. And Indian companies are developing their capabilities to export to the other geographies also. That's where the extra alpha of earnings companies going to witness over a period of time. So defense is emerged as a one of the interesting and key sector at this point of time in India is concerned. And of course, majority of these companies have been participating in Chandrayaan mission also. It's not the question of how much the revenue they are making in this mission, but participating in this mission, having such wonderful technologies to participate in this mission is a commendable and also a pride moment for each and every company which are participated in this mission.
Okay, so let's take these stocks one by one, and I will ask you your top preferences from all of these stocks. Let's talk about MTR Technologies. The stock is up at day's high right now. 4.5% higher. MTR Technologies, it's in the business of manufacturing of various machine equipments, assemblies, and spare parts for energy, nuclear, space, aerospace and defense and other engineering industries. And, of course, it has been providing a lot of materials for a lot of space missions. And therefore, you can see day's high move on MTR Technologies at 2208 currently. What is your take on MTR Tech, and do you believe it is a stock that one should still watch out for and keep on their radar at 2200 odd?
Definitely, Sakshi. And one investor need to take into cognizance these stocks have been run up a lot. Okay, in stock market, the rear view mirror is very clear, but not the windshield. So, how these stocks are going to be in the coming days? Of course, the companies have a very good order book, and they have been proven to execute these orders in their timelines also. So right now the order book visibility and also earning visibility is clear for these companies. So windshield is very clear for these companies if we go through what's happening in these companies. So investors need to have a staggered manner approach. There is no need to jump and buy these stocks despite of sharp sharp we can see sharp rises that are coming in these stocks, but there will be some days where these stocks also witness a profit booking. So those point of time, investors can buy these stocks in a very staggered manner. MTR Technologies investors have a high risk appetite. Okay, definitely they can accumulate in their portfolio for a longer term perspective.
Okay, the next talk we'll discuss is Paras Defense. Remember, the firm offers a variety of products and solutions for defense and space missions, and has also provided for Chandrayaan 3 as well, one of the key suppliers for this mission too. 6.5% uptick at 722 odd levels currently. In the last 6 months odd, we've seen a remarkable move on the stock. 52% of a surge is what we have seen on Paras Defense. Your thoughts on Paras Defense, sir?
Yeah, this is also an interesting stock because Sakshi, see, when you say defense and aviation, there are many critical parts, many technologies, both in terms of the electronics and with respect to the metal, what they use. There is a metal technology that has been developing in India, and many companies are involved right now. We used to name metal as a metal sector, basic metals are concerned. But right now, the theme is to participate in these critical missions and aviation. Uh, Aviation is concerned. There is a metal technology that's getting developed in India right now. So there are many companies that are going to take advantage in the whole theme of this defense industry. So Paras Defense is one of the key beneficiary in what's happening in defense at this point of time.
Okay, two more stocks I will discuss with you individually. Data Patterns 2373 currently, and we are looking at a very strong surge on a year-to-date basis. Today there is a dip of about 0.4%, but that's only slight profit booking if you see. In the last 2 or 3 odd trading sessions, the kind of sharp intraday moves that we have seen on the stock. Of course, the company has been reporting very healthy earnings, strong order book position. When we compare to the markets as well, the Sensex is up about just about 7, 8, 10 odd percent, but on a year to date basis, Data Patterns is up by 111, 112% odd. That's the kind of a move that we have seen on Data Patterns. So this also is a company that provides to all the platforms, namely space, air, land and sea. A lot of products that are included in defense like LCA, Tejas, light utility helicopter, BrahMos missile. They have ensured that key materials have been supplied for all of these missions. Apart from this, let's also discuss PTC Industries. Again, another company that has more than doubled investors' wealth in this entire year, 6 months to a year's perspective. And Mr. Batini has been advising this stock from a long time. Much earlier, he had picked up this stock when the stock was somewhere around 1600 or so. Tell me if you had spotted it earlier, 1700 or so you had spotted this stock, I remember, and 5821. Currently for this stock. So on an intraday basis, you can see a dip of 0.6% odd. But when we see a sharp, say last 6 months or a year-to-date level, you will be able to spot a 100% surge on this company. And the company has also talked about how their own pump interstage housing manufactured product has made its way into Chandrayaan 3 as well. So Data Patterns and PTC Industries, how do you look at these two stocks, sir?
Yeah, coming to Data Patterns, actually, the stock has witnessed a phenomenal rally, and the margins have been quite encouraging for this company, around 40%. So, investors with a long-term perspective, they can hold on to the stock. In terms of the valuations, it looks a little bit stretched, but given the kind of the emphasis and the critical components they produce in the defense space, Data Patterns tend to trade at a higher note. So any dip in Data Patterns is a very good entry for the investors are concerned. Coming to PTC Industries, I remember we advised for our viewers in the last Dashara as a Dashara pick for our investors. Those who have hearkened to our voice and invested in this stock, they would have made a fantastic return of around more than 200%. The stock is into metal technology and a critical supplier for aviation as well as defense. And of course, they have participated in the mission of Chandrayaan, also supplied some kind of critical components to the Chandrayaan mission. It shows and demonstrates the strength of these companies and global capabilities of these companies that can participate in the critical aviation and missions like Chandrayaan. So investors with a long-term vision, definitely they can hold on to these kind of stocks, and any dip in these stocks, given the earning visibility and kind of margins they are going to make over a period of time, investors, any dip in these companies, it gives a good opportunity for the investors to build a long-term investment proposition in their portfolio.
Okay, I understood that. Apart from this, also there are enough and more defense-based stocks that have been buzzing in trade, that have been making news flows. BHEL, for example, BEL, Tata Elxsi, all of these stocks also have been providing critical components for the defense missions in India. L&T and BHEL also are said to have provided some key components like batteries and ground flight components to the Chandrayaan-3 mission as well. Any of these particular stocks are other than what we have discussed already that comes on top of your mind when we discuss Chandrayaan-3?
Yeah, L&T and there are Avantel. There are many whole lot of companies have participated in this critical missions actually. And there is a small company by name Centrum. They produced some kind of components, and the stock is running up today also. So the main reason is it's not what kind of revenues they are going to derive from this mission. The main focus is Indian companies, Indian component makers are emerging in the global space. Once the mission is accomplishes, these companies are capable to export to the global missions that are coming at in different geographies. And the beauty of the Indian companies are they are world class and sophisticated. They have all the technologies and the capabilities at a very interesting price. That make the Indian component makers difference when we compare with the global defense companies, defense equipment makers are concerned. So it can create a good amount of wealth for the investors in the coming years.
Fantastic pick there, Centrum Electronics, Mr. Batini. The stock is up 14.3% at 1642 rupees per share today. Let's also look at some of the other moves that we've seen on the stock. In the past month, it's up by 19%. Last 6 months, it has given a whopping 190% move on the stock, and it has been a clear wealth creator for all the investors right there. Last 6 months, if you had Centrum Electronics in your portfolio, you would have been extremely laughing your way to the banks right now, the kind of move that we've seen today. Design and development and manufacturing of electronic system for space applications is what the company is into. 200 rupee move is what we have seen. Mr. Batini, despite this strong run-up in the last 6 months at 1637, can one still, go ahead and accumulate the stock in a staggered fashion?
So actually, these stocks have been emerging right now. So we need to wait and watch how these interesting moves are going to come. Of course, there are very interesting and incredible times ahead for these companies. So high risk appetite investors, who can understand the risk in these kind of companies, they can probably invest in these companies at dips, because we have witnessed a strong rallies in these stocks. Even in fact, all these stocks have been multipliers in the recent past. So any dips, who can take the calculated risk, those investors can take part in these kind of companies.
Okay, understood. Well, many thanks, Mr. Patini, for being with us on this special edition where we've discussed Chandrayaan 3 as a mission and how the average Indian investor can really partake in this success story of India by participating through equities and through all the companies that have played a critical part in the success mission of Chandrayaan 3 too. Many thanks. Always a pleasure having you with us on Business Today TV, Mr. Patini. Let's look at the markets again. 214 points higher now, 65,430. The Nifty up by 55 odd levels, 55 points at 19,450. So, of course, the first half has been pretty good. All eyes on the last 2.5 hours of trade and whether these gains sustain on a closing basis, because yesterday again the Nifty failed to close above 19,400. Remains to be seen whether that resistance zone is seen being as a breakout in today's trading session as well. And we'll keep monitoring the market move for you, and you can track all the important data points continuously through our trading session. What you should also get ready is for our special series, and that is Market Masters, where market gurus reveal their investment strategies for a winning portfolio. So join us on the coming Monday, that is 28th of August, with Ravi Dharamshi, who's the founder and MD and also the CIO at Value Quest Investment Advisors, to get his market insights and in-depth market analysis. You can also send in your queries on us on this number that's flashing on your screens. That's 730-308-0488. And these questions will also be taken live on the session. The company on our radar today is Patel Engineering, and it is a 73-year-old construction company specializing into the hydropower generation and irrigation sectors. It has recently been designated as the lowest successful bidder for a joint venture contract worth about 1275 odd crore rupees from the government of